Hi YouTube, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. You can visit me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. So today we are continuing the Diamond Stone series, and we're going to take a look at this ezelap, and we're going to focus on the 400 grit side. This is the second go around through with all these stones. The first one was just kind of an unboxing, introduction, and first edge sort of deal. This one we're gonna check it for flat on the granite tile here. Then we're gonna put it up underneath the microscope at low magnification and at high magnification. We're going to look at the surface of the stone. We're going to look for you know, how even the diamond grits are, or diamond particles are. See if we see any trash in there, you know, like larger diamonds or, you know, anything like that. And then we're going to look at it on high magnification. Then we're going to take this one of my little 3-inch Skagel pattern pocket knives, and we're going to go ahead and sharpen it up. We're going to bring it to a burr. We're going to take a look at the scratch pattern. We're going to take a look at the burr, just because I want to see if there's any difference in between burrs created off of different diamond stones. I'm not too sure there will be, but I'm interested in it, and since I'm doing the video, well, then we get a look at that. Then we're going to finish off the edge, take a look at the finished edge, and then we're going to take that edge and we're going to put it, and we're going to cut some manila rope, and we're going to see how much that manila rope is on a block on a bathroom scale. So we get to measure the amount of force that it takes to make the first cut, the 25th cut, and the 50th cut on that rope. And then we're going to take a look at that edge up underneath the scope and see what a slightly worn edge off one of these stones look like. Okay, so let's come over here and we'll point you down and turn this around so I can see what you're seeing. Okay, so this is the fine side. We're after the medium side. Medium is 400 grit on this stone. We're going to put the 400 grit side down. We have got some feeler gauges. The brass one is 10 thousandths. The silver one is 3 thousandths. Okay. Now we're going to go through. We're not going to push down on the stone very much. I just want to see. Oh boy, look at that. No, maybe it just lifted it up. Oh, there's a spot right there where the 3 thousandths is going in. Oh, going in all the way. Let's see if the 10 thousandths will go in. That DMT, it wouldn't. I think the deepest that 3 thousandths feeler gauge went in was, oh, maybe 1/16 of an inch. Okay, but there's some spots on this ezelap, which kind of makes sense because this ezelap is, you know, it's glued to a piece of plastic, whereas the DMT is just a solid chunk of steel. That side feels pretty good. Now this right here, it's going to look like the feeler gauge is going in quite a bit, but it's going underneath the plastic. Right there is actually the stone. You know, so I would call this stone not bad at all. Which the construction, you know, so this is the weight of this, it feels like these are 2 steel plates. You know, so they're sandwiching that piece of plastic there, so that would give you quite a bit of rigidity. Alright, let's put that underneath the scope, and let's lift you up here and get you where you can see. Zoom in a little bit. Alright, that's the fine side. We're interested in the medium side. Okay, so that's out as much as we can get. Okay, so this is the lowest magnification that I've got the scope set to right now. And to give you an idea of the size, you know, of how much magnification we've got, that right there is the tip of a zebra mechanical pencil. The lead, which is this part right here, I want to say that's 7mm lead, or 0.07 or 0.7 millimeter lead. Anyway, it's 23 thousandths of an inch across, or thick. All right. So that kind of gives you an idea of how big those diamonds are. But it sure looks to me That looks pretty consistent. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of, I mean, all those grains, all those diamonds look about the same size. I don't see a whole lot of trash. That right there might be a little bit bigger diamond, or it might just be one that's laying on its side. But it looks pretty consistent, which is kind of what we found out. Remember when, you know, when I took the little razor knife here and I was pushing it across the surface of the stone? It sounded really good, and now it looks really good. So now let's go in and take a little bit closer look. Now again, where's my pencil there? Thought I just saw it. Now remember, so that's the pencil lead. So that's 23 thousandths of an inch from the left side of it to the right side of it, to give you an indication of scale. Now this looks really good too. I mean, all these diamonds. So the parts that, I mean, when you're looking at this, it kind of takes a little bit of interpreting, figuring out what it is that you're actually seeing. So all these parts right here, so like that one right there. So that little bitty white spot on the top of that, that's the point of a diamond. And the rest of it is kind of sitting down in the glue or the electroplating or whatever it is that they use to make these diamonds stick to that metal plate. Let's see, so that one was the first one that jumped out. There's another one. There's the point of the diamond, and the rest of it is kind of sitting down in. Some of these you're seeing the side of the diamond. You know, it's not like they can all get lined up to where all the points are straight up. You know, they're all going to be faceted. But that looks like a pretty dang nice stone. So we just sharpened this knife on the DMT for the last video, but we're going to go ahead and do it again on this one. Now that feels considerably coarser than the DMT 325. Now granted, that DMT 325 that I showed you on the last video, it's nicely broken in. And this is only like the second or the third edge that I've put on with this one. And it's still pretty aggressive, but we do have a burr. So now let's take a look at the burr. Okay, again, this is back to the lowest magnification. And this right here is a chunk of that pencil lead that I taped down onto the bowling ball so that I could, you know, more easily find where we're looking. So this right here is that burr, just that little glint. So now let's go in. Now this, what we're seeing here, what I'm believing, oh no, that's just a little piece of, at first I thought that was like a dent, you know, from, you know, one of the coarser diamonds, since the stone's not broke in yet. But you see how it's kind of got fibers coming off of it? So that's got to be either a piece of dust or whatever it was that touched that edge from the time it came off the stone to the time that it went underneath the scope. This right here is part of your burr. So remember, if we're looking at this blade, and my hand is flat there, right? So if that's the side of my blade, that burr is pointed up towards us. So this right in here is the tip of that burr that's curled towards us. You can kind of see how there's like how the light reflects a little bit different and it looks like it's curled. So our future edge is actually going to be right there. I guess my watch was, it's listening to me. I don't think I like that. I ended up getting one of them iWatch things. With winter time, you know, I keep my phone on my hip, and with my phone underneath my coat or underneath my shirts, I'm having a hard time hearing it. So I got a fancy watch here, and it vibrates to let me know when somebody calls or texts. So anyway, so our future edge is actually going to be right in here. So this steel right here is going to be, you know, is going to come off for, you know, that's where the burr's at. So now let's look at the burr from the other direction. And we can also see our scratch pattern. Oh, that's a good shot there. Now, see, that's a pretty heavy-duty scratch pattern there. I mean, this is classed as a 400 grit edge. You know, that's a little bit coarse from what I've seen for being a 400 grit edge. I would call that more like a 250 or so. But then again, this stone hadn't been broke in. This is only like the second or third edge that this stone is put on a knife. But you can see how deep these scratches are. But what is nice though is that the scratches look crisp. Okay, so it looks like if you guys have ever whittled, okay, like with a pocket knife and a stick of wood, like made like a ball in a cage or a chain or something like that, if you've got a very, very highly polished edge, the faces of the cuts will be very, very smooth. All right. If you've got an aggressive edge, the faces of the cut will look a little bit different. Just kind of, they'll just look a little bit different, okay? But these right here, these are really nice, crisp cuts. All right? Now, a crisp cut is going to, a crisp stone is going to make a way more aggressive edge for the grit than what a coarse, a dull stone will. Okay, so like a diamond stone that's in really good shape, that diamond is going to cut a much cleaner cut than like say an Arkansas stone will, right? Now this is the other side of the burr. So this is flat, or this is the flat side of the blade, and then that right there is the burr. So what you're seeing there is that burr curving away from you. Now remember, this is on the highest magnification we can see. So this isn't, I mean, it looks like it's a lot of steel, but here's the pencil coming. Remember, that's 23 thousandths of an inch in diameter, if I could hold it still. All right, so what we were talking about from here to here, the measurement of this burr is probably going to be, well, if we hold this sideways, we'll be able to kind of guess. That'd be a good video. How thick is a burr? Can't even see the pencil. Where is it? There it is. So if that's 23 thousandths of an inch in diameter, half that would be what? 11? Half that again would be 5.5. So you're talking that burr is probably from here to here is probably like 3 thousandths of an inch. So, and uh-oh, it's gonna shut off on us here in a second. So 3 thousandths of an inch in steel, maybe per sharpening. All right. So while that's going to cut off, we're going to go ahead and finish this edge up. So we're going to bring a burr on this side. See, we got 11 seconds up there before the camera turns off. Now we're just doing the weight of the blade. Now, since this is a little bit coarser and a little bit more aggressive, we're going to have to make sure that we really, really lighten up on our pressure here. Okay, so now We'll try to wipe off any trash that's on the stone. You know, I think we're just going to do one cut on each side to take that burr off, because this stone is cutting real aggressive. Oh, well, no, there it is. All right, now let's look at our finished edge here. Yeah, so this stone needs to settle in some more. See how kind of rounded off that is, and how there's little bitty chunks right there of the edge. I mean, the micro bevel is going to be like from here to there, but still there's a big old dent there. There's kind of one there. There's a little bit of the burr remaining right there. This stone right here looks to me like you might use the medium side, you know, to shape your edges, and then you use your fine side to finish them until you got the medium side broke in, and then it'd probably settle down. All right, so again, here's our cut test. Remember, we got the bathroom scale with the wood with a piece of rope, and we got our knife here. So it's going to take about 4 pounds or so for me to, you know, the weight of my hand, the weight of the wood, and the weight of the rope, and me pushing down just enough to kind of keep everything steady where it needs to be. So now our first cut, no, it's going to be about 15. 15. Okay, so that's what, 4 cuts? Oh, we better write 15 down. Easy. Okay, so now let's make 22 more cuts. That was 22, so that's 22 plus the first one, so we're about the 25-ish mark. So there's about 4 pounds for my hand. Looking at 17, 18, about 18. So write down 18. Now I do need to do about 20 more cuts. It's 17, but I'm running out of rope here, so we'll go ahead and do it now. 19 or 20, 19, 19. So we'll go back to the scope here. You write down 19. So this edge was 2 to 4 pounds more force than the DMTs. Now you can see that rope really kind of polished it up. You can really see kind of the real coarse, the coarser scratches from this stone that's acting quite a bit coarser because it hadn't broke in yet. And you can also see where you know, some of those divots that were left by the larger particles in that stone. See, they've kind of you know, been polished out more and kind of made to look bigger than what they were. But yeah, so this stone right here, I like it. It feels good. There's not a whole lot of trash on it. There wasn't a whole lot of trash on it. Remember to start off with. It looks really nice and consistent. I've had ezealaps before, not one of this size. I usually use them for like pocket stones and stuff, and I've had really good luck with them. It's just this one hasn't been broke in yet. and that's what we were seeing underneath the scope on that edge. I mean, not only could we see it just by looking at the scratch pattern, but then our cut test, you know, was several pounds heavier on the initial cut and on the 25th and the 50th cut than what the DMT was. So that's where that rope test really comes in handy. Not only is it great for heat treats, but it also works really good for comparing different stones. So so yeah, this is a really, really nice stone also. And I'm excited to see how this one, how it wears in, and you know how it performs over the next year or so. So again, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. Visit me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.